Hi everybody and welcome to this Rookie Division general playthrough for the Typhoon Tournament. Random wind directions here may not be indicative of what we will get during the tournament, but the wind strength is. This features the increased wind strength that we'll get. You can hear the storm blowing a gale behind me here on Porthello Cove. Full adjustments for all the 9 holes. These are tricky, and we will be getting strong winds, so the wind strength here, you see, it is going to be like that for the tournament. So take a practice token or two, get used to the increased wind strength here in Rookie Division. As always, we're using true rookie clubs here on the channel. If you're new here, very warm welcome. Please hit thumbs up and make sure you are a subscriber as well. It is totally free to do so. Replays and adjustments coming up right now. Let's get started with hole number 1. Hole number 1 is, of course, a par 4, and we're going to use the extra mile and a katana because I want 3 bars of side spin. 4.5 top spin, 3 right spin, setting up at max distance with the extra mile and a power 2 ball. Red ring, touching the rough on the left. I adjust rings using the pushing method rather than the usual way, so have the arrow facing towards you down south, because otherwise the rocks are going to be in the way. So I push adjust my rings. I go with the outer wall curl to the right and I hit perfect, and the top spin and right spin will kick the ball very nicely down the middle of the fairway. We don't want to be too long here. Anywhere around here is going to be fine to set up our approach shot. Drive distance 348 yards. Now we're going to play with a wood club in near to minimum distance here. I've got the Viper with this one, but if you've got the Sniper as well, then that could work as well and would actually be easier to line up. Just over 3 backspin, and I play with right spin here, 3 bars of it, because otherwise I'm going to have to aim close to the right edge of the rough, and then if I hit a great right, I'm going to miss the rough completely and bounce over the green. If you don't want to play the rough bump, then use the Guardian, play with max backspin, bounce on the beginning of the green and hold very nicely for a birdie putt. But if you want to go for the eagle, this, although it's aggressive, is the way to go. Min minus 15. This shot plays uphill. So minimum distance, negative elevation, so minus 15 drops nicely for the eagle on this par 4. Hole number 2, now bear in mind the par 3s on this course are very tricky, so don't be disheartened if you're not dropping a load of hole-in-ones on Porthello Cove. They are difficult. Once again, using a katana for the 3 bars of side spin, and I'm going with the Goliath, otherwise I will be in between clubs. So a little bit of top spin, 3 bars side spin to the right, second bounce before the fringe. There is a risk of catching a glitch roll here if you are unlucky, so bear that in mind. You don't really want to have that second bounce anywhere near the beginning of the fringe. Mid plus 10 is the adjustment, pushing the rings once again because it's clearer to see and you're more accurate with your adjustment. And half a ball of curl to the right. Most wind angles here are going to need right curl, unfortunately. That's just the way the hole is designed. We're getting close here. A couple of clicks more curl would have dropped this one, but we just want to make sure we're on and safely near the pin for our birdie. Very difficult par 3, but mid plus 10 is the adjustment on that shot. Now on to the par 5s. Very, very difficult indeed. With all of them, we just want to secure the eagle, but there is still a chance of dropping for an albatross. Quarterback needed here for the curl. 3 top spin, 3 left spin, so once again the kingmaker or a katana. You could get away with a katana if you've got a higher level quarterback, but if not, use a kingmaker. 1 to 1, so 5.8 in wind. I adjust 5.8 rings. That is only, of course, with the quarterback. We need full left curl, full overpower. The good news with the quarterback is you can hit minor great left, minor great right. You'll still be okay. And I did want to bounce in the rough and roll out. That is not an accident there. That's how the shot is designed. You want second bounce in the rough, and the top spin will roll us out nicely. Drive distance of 305 yards. Now, if you're worried about not getting that drive distance, then I would, as I do here, you have to go with a big dog really. Otherwise you're going to be short and you need to push up after your adjustment if you're using the Viper or the Sniper. So I'm setting up at max distance, applying backspin and right spin, and aiming as best I can with the ball guide that I haven't got really on this club. Then I'm going to adjust max plus 20 because the backspin's giving us a higher second bounce and it's going to be affected by the wind a little bit more. So max plus 20 in this wind angle Like I said before, you just want to make sure you're on for the eagle, but with a bit of careful planning and maybe a token or two, a nice adjustment here, the albatross is still on. Let's have a look how we get on here. We get it beautifully. Hits the pin and drops for a very nice albatross on the third hole. Hole number 4, we have headwind here, something we're going to have to deal with occasionally in tournaments, so I wanted to present a wind angle that was slightly unsavoury. With a Titan, 4.5 topspin, add spin, setting up at +3, and look at the second bounce, it's comfortably over the rough up ahead. Then we are going to adjust max +10 and take our shot. No overpower needed, perfect ball, no curl, and you'll see the topspin just clears the rough very nicely. Second bounce over the rough, and we get a drive distance here of 335 yards. Second shot, we're going to play with our long iron. There is a rough bump here if you're feeling brave. You would need a lot of topspin though, and I would only really recommend that in direct crosswind, because otherwise you're adjusting downhill, you're adjusting up onto the slope. It will affect the shot. 5 backspin, and I want to bounce on the end of that upward slope to get that ridiculously high second bounce, because that is going to check the ball up nicely, even if you haven't got, for instance, Saturn with a load of backspin. You can still play this with a backbone. Mid +0, and then we get a perfect ball away. I nearly fluke this one in, second bounce dunk, but sadly it didn't happen. But either way, we've got a simple putt for the birdie. Hole number 5 now, I would suggest playing down the middle in rookie division, because most likely you won't have a driver with curl to play on the right hand side. 3 top spin and a little bit of side spin to the left. I aim in the middle of this fairway pad. Power 3 ball needed really. We could get away with a katana in this wind angle, but other wind angles you will need a Titan or above. Max +20, because direct tailwind here is going to push the ball further forward than we think. So max +20, hit perfect, and we bounce just above centre of the pad, and the top spin will take us nicely down the middle of the fairway. I believe you've got a great left and a great right here setting up down the middle. 343 yards. Once again, it's a par 5. We just want the eagle, but that's not to say that the albatross is out of the equation. It isn't. It is perfectly attainable. Playing with 1 bar of backspin, I like to bounce over the bunker here. I could set up past the bunker, but then I'd have to adjust down into the bunker, which is quite tricky. So aim at the pin as best you can. I'm favouring the right edge here because the wind is ever so slightly angled from right to left. And the adjustment here, mid +0. Nice flat shot, medium distance of club, 0 elevation. Like I say, just lock the eagle in. Don't worry about the albatross. If it happens, then by all means, do some celebrating. I managed just to get this one in, sneak it in on the left edge, but there's the approach I suggest on this par 5. Hole number 6 is a very, very difficult and downhill par 3, as you can see from the elevation, and my suggestion here is go with a Guardian with plenty of backspin, about 7.5 or 8 bars, and we just want to survive this with a birdie. We don't want a par. Chances are you're not going to drop for a hole-in-one, even with a load of tokens. It is very, very difficult to dial in. So adding spin with a navigator, you might need a power 2 ball or a power 3 if you have direct headwind, but I want to bounce on the fairway that's to the right of the green in all wind angles with backspin and 1 bar of left spin. Max +40. It plays horrendously downhill, so you need loads of elevation. Max +40 with the Guardian, bouncing comfortably on the fairway. I'd rather be short than long, because as you can see when the camera zooms in, the green slopes down quite dramatically beyond the pin, but we're parking up beautifully for a nice easy putt for the birdie. This is a tough par 3. You're going to see quite a few players get a par on this one. Hole number 7, not often that I would suggest hooks or slices in rookie, but it is the way forward on this hole with the design of it. Get to green or near the green for your eagle, putt or wedge. Quarterback needed for the curl, 3 top spin, 3 left spin. We need a kingmaker sadly for the distance. If you have a higher club level though, you might get away with a katana. I'm just aiming at that rock here. It works in this particular wind angle, but with all hooks and slices, you need to dial them in, because this aim point, there's no adjustment, it's a fixed aim. It works for this wind angle. You would need to tweak it if you had a different wind angle. Full curl, full overpower, full hook release. You don't need to worry about hitting perfect. Parks up very nicely by the side of the green for a simple wedge. Alternately, you may even be on the green for a putt. But take a token or two. It is worth it in my opinion, because it's a nice easy eagle if you've got your adjustment or your aim point correct. The last of the par 3s, this is still tricky. I suggest going with a no movement target approach here, and as with hole 7, the spin and the setup and the adjustment will vary so much on wind angle here. We need to offset though, and bear in mind that this green slopes down to the left, to the right and beyond the pin. So if you are offline with your aim, you will most likely roll off the side of the green. Without enough backspin, you will roll into the rough as well. So this is one where you need to be careful. Couple of bars of backspin, little bit of left spin to counter the wind push, because in this example it is blowing from left to right, so we're offsetting deliberately. Mid plus 20 from the no movement target position, so I'm not moving my target, I'm just adding spins, adjusting my rings and taking my shot. Parks up very nicely, nice to get close. There is a chance of a hole in one if you're on the centre of the green or rolling down the centre of the green. Very true line to the cup, but it's not without danger, this one. And finally on to hole number 9, going to play with the katana once again, because we want some right spin on both the drive and the second shot. 4.5 top spin, 3 right spin with the extra mile. Add spin, yellow ring, touching the rough, or just before actually. And I'm aiming in the middle of that piece of fairway. Nice wind angle here. Max plus 10 is going to be the adjustment, even though we're not at max distance of club. And then the final part of the equation is going to be outer wall curl to the right, just to bring us in a nicer line for the approach. Hitting perfect, bouncing there just before the rough, nicely over towards the bunker, but not threatening the bunker, not threatening the rough either. Nicely in the middle of the fairway. 336 yards is the drive. Now we're going to need a wood club with distance here. Big Dog or the Cataclysm if you've got it, because we need top spin as well, even with a power 2 ball. Between 5 and 6 bars top spin depending on the wind angle, 3 bars side spin to the right, setting up at max distance, yellow ring touching the rough on the right. Now you will see here I just max plus 0, and this shot in my experience, it's deceptive. You always think you need less curl than you actually do, and you'll see even though the fairway is narrow, we want the curl because we want the ball to go right down the middle of the narrow fairway. So max plus 0, almost 1 ball of curl to the right. You see the left edge of the ball is right in the middle of that wall of the adjustment ring to the right. Perfect ball, and the topspin takes us nicely down. We could have done with a couple more clicks of topspin, but I'm still on the green. I'm still putting for the eagle, and that is the number 1 priority on hole number 9. Thank you very much for watching this video for the Typhoon Tournament. I hope it helps you in your tournament play this week. All the best of luck. Let me know in the comments section how you get on. Finally, join us on Facebook. Go over there, type in BK Golf Clash and join our group. Over 10,000 members, shot sharing, free guides, discussion points. Brilliant array of content there as well, so check it out. There's other contributions from some of the brilliant members of our content creating GC community too. So go and check them out, support them. It will help your gameplay. Thank you for watching once again. Share it with your friends. I'd be most appreciated. And enjoy your games. Take care. See you soon. Bye for now.